That is what we know in this business as a problem. For some reason, the Enderman does not appear to be able to pathfind to me, but there is not much I can do about those Endermen either. My best bet may perhaps be to chug a potion of fire resistance and go jump in the lava. Because last I checked, Endermen were not lava-proof, and so I can use it like water. Of course, it also doesn't block fall damage, so I just have an angry Enderman who hates me. Forever. Okay, you know what? If you can't teleport to me, I'm just going to keep staring at you until something changes. I'm not certain I can win the staring contest with an Enderman, but what if I don't lose? Well, that's some satisfying hoglin noise. House is functioning as intended. Hey, Enderman making VoIPing noises, could you please stop staring at me? It's making me just as uncomfortable as me staring at you makes you. Enderman, could you please, for the love of God, stop trying to give me a heart attack? Please, sir. Please, just don't. Is that too much to ask? Too much procrastinating. I think it's time to get something done around here. Like, clear out those hoglins and figure out what's actually going on with my balcony. So we have two questions. How does it interface here with the wall? And what's going on out at the edge? I think let's design the bit at the edge first. So here we have my outer balcony level, which then gets a lining in red nether brick, as we see out here with the lining in red nether brick. I'm going to need a lot more red nether brick slabs for this. Hang on. I think my glamour has slipped. I wish that wouldn't keep breaking like this. Oh well, at least I'm here at my base, so it's not actually a problem. It's only you, my lovely audience, who gets to see me without the illusion, and you already know exactly what's going on. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you weren't listening. Let's check. Is this even divisible? Nope. So it doesn't divide evenly by 3 or by any multiple of 2. So 5 block spacing this time attempted. Still does not work. I feel like that works. I think the primary thing, though, that does not work here, that pillar. These pillars, maybe that pillar can stay. It's a good pillar. High quality pillar. But let's remove all of the pillars out here on this outer ring and see what this does to the appearance of my base. You know, I think that works a lot better because these pillars are implied to be structural. That said, I think this one needs to go back into place. There we go. Now let's just pace out. At what point does this not work? That's the point where it doesn't work, and it doesn't work just fine like that. Okay. Yeah, that checks out. That makes sense. In fact, it makes so much more sense now that I have both of these lined up like this. We have this area with a gap corresponding to the strider pan, and over here we have the gap corresponding to the path out of here. I will have to edit things so that the path out of here actually goes up here, but I think that should be doable. There we go, the door set in just a little bit. And the little entrance nook. Back access below the stairs to the overworld. Ugh. And varying guest utilities. And varying things needed to make oneself at home. Also, somewhere I have some warped nylium. There we go. There we go. That works. I will be using more respawn anchors through this design somewhere. I just haven't quite figured out where. Actually, I might not be, since I might just do respawn anchors as part of each house's entranceway. Yes, respawn anchors is the traditional housing entrance design of my warped kingdom. And it might only be tradition established 5 seconds ago, but that still counts, for it is traditional. I am officially declaring that it is the tradition. Do I not have any fungus samples sitting on around? Or did I put them in the overworld of all places? They're in the stupid overworld, aren't they? Now, I'm hoping that this will do the job of Hoglin deterrent, but if not, it will still look pretty, so we're going to add a solid all of them to my projected interior decorating. And we just take a Strider eye view for a second. Looks like I missed a spot again, but other than the awkwardness of me continuing to miss spots, I think that works. Yeah, I think that little skirt wall works. Things that currently do not work, that, but hopefully floor 3 will fix that. And now we move the potion of fire resistant into my main hand, so that when I inevitably fall into lava getting off my Strider, I don't, get seriously injured. Everything is fine. Including our idiot Strider here that doesn't seem to be able to get warm. There is lava right there, you foolish Strider. Oh well, not my problem. Not my department that you're miserable, Strider. You are right next to the... Thank you. Foolish, foolish, foolish. Cute, useful, but so unbearably foolish, foolish, foolish. So, I think the next area for me to play with on sorting out my house is sorting out how it connects to the warped forest. Anyway, that's going to go on across like so on the outer wall, and that's going to turn. How about I put in a bit more of the roof before properly sorting out this particular section of floor 3? On the other hand, I have exactly the filler block I'm going to need for it right here. Because I've established elsewhere in my build that this is the tool for the job. So, how many notches thick? 3. 3 seems perfectly reasonable. Anyway, there we have our entranceway. And since it's a base 2 entrance, I actually get to use doors. Now, is it going to be a warped door? How do warped doors look? Oh, I like warped doors, but I think all of my doors are just going to be crimson doors. Because I like how crimson doors look better. Warped doors are... Or actually, do I? Oh, well. No, I like them both equally. I'm just going to be using crimson doors because most of this build is warped and I want to be maintaining that mixture. Stairs will at some point be added. Stairs are not about to be added right now. As an interim measure, while other details get sorted out, I'm just going to put a warped fungus here so that it'll grow up and I will have an easier time getting at the third story there. So, my glamour is still not working. However, I have also discovered that somebody in town is selling warped wood, and yes, I could chop it all down myself, but if there is one thing I have learned from my forest, it is that I hate cutting down trees. Now, I do have some glamour energy left, but I also need to get back home when this is done, so let's not pass out on the floor from trying to look like my doppelganger. And let's just sneak through spawn to grab some wood so that I can finish my house. So, I see no one, I see no one. Let's dash on across. You selling nothing? Oh no. Hi, Spider.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, so somebody saw me, but Spider doesn't seem to have reacted, so everything's fine. We're just gonna pretend that everything is fine. And leave. And it's probably just as well that I snuck past Spider, because there went the last of my glamour, and now the thing that was most important to keep concealed has been revealed. Because yes, people who know what's going on with Aurora would know that I am not the right Aurora, looking at my lovely red eyes, but elves do change with where they are, and I have been basing in the Nether, so I have an excuse. These wings, on the other hand, they would not get me kicked off the server, but they might get people asking me to collect things for them. And since I have a critical vulnerability to being asked to finish things for other people, collect stuff, all of those useful, helpful ally behaviors that I can't manage to suppress, they might figure out that they can get me to do things. And that would be bad. I will have to increase my gremlinry to make sure that none of them figure out that I could be useful. And of course, I will take advantage of the fact that as someone who regularly lives in the Nether, this is what I generally go around wearing, and you can't see that I have ally wings if you can't see my wings. Now, as I continue to add features to this space in the least practical order possible, I think the next feature to build in here before we've even finished building this entire base, I need a gremlin tunnel. Yes, I am aware that I built this entire thing over a lava lake. I have 8 minutes of fire resistance. Now, strictly speaking, to actually make this buildable, it will need to be 2 wide. However, for aesthetics going through my base, it's only going to be 1 wide. There we go. And that's the stage where it's going to be used to build down from here. Now, at least temporarily, let's have a ladder. Possibly permanently. After all, I do want to potentially be able to get back up my gremlin tunnel. So, my compulsive need to spontaneously finish things has manifested, as has the roof of my house. The contents of my house are still pending, but roof is done. And also the internal stairs need to be fixed because the roof took priority. But my god, I love this roof. I love it so much. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my build is complete? I love it. Anyway, impromptu musical numbers aside, we have an interior to build. My god, we have an interior to build. This needs so much fixing. But also, with the actual roof in place, it's so much easier to see the actual interior space I have to work with. I maintain that any time where this is at all practical, build the roof first. And now that my roof is in place, I strongly wish to reconsider the current arrangement of stairs going on in this house. Proof that I do not know how to begin things, only how to finish them. When I have the roof here, it's so easy to figure out where the stairs need to go to finish up the roof. But just figuring out where the stairs are going to go before I have the rest of the landscape? No, this is not the correct place for these stairs to go. So there we have cute little flower pots and a window. And now that window is sealed up, and that's one less way to fall out of my house. And now let's also take a moment to admire my recent flower pot and see... Oh yeah, I like those. Those work. Cute little detail. It's a cute detail, but I think that I want to mix up which plants are involved. Because while I do like the crimson roots as an offset for the warped, interesting idea. The crimson looks much better in its full version, whereas the warped roots look so much better in their flower pot versions. And somehow I'm getting distracted by the infinite power of flower pots. But I have no regrets. Now let's actually focus on getting something around here done. And fix up my stairs. No more getting distracted by windows and the infinite power of flower pots. I mean, they're lovely. But they are not finishing things. You'd almost think that I've become my counterpart. Just for how much messing around and getting distracted I'm doing. Why must spring be contagious? Okay, so we sneak on up and see if I can get to the sculk shop without being seen. Oh, well, if Amelia's not moving, I may just try to bluff.
Skulk shop. Alright. That doesn't look too bad. It's pretty good, actually. I like that. I mean, Skulk is... Time is breaking, but of course it's fine. Hello.
Hello? Hang on. Did you just say that it's fine that time is breaking?
Yes, it's fine. I mean, it looks bad, but it's mechanically nothing's really wrong. Again, it looks bad, but it's...
I can't help but notice that something seems different about you, Amelia.
I could say the same about you. Weren't you wearing green earlier?
Yes, I was. Perhaps, do we have a pair of doppelgangers here?
I mean, funny you mentioned that. I got a letter from a doppelgangers association. I'm like, what is this? Do you know anything about that?
You're getting letters. No, I do not know. Is there this... Have I not been invited to something?
I mean, you could talk with whoever's in charge and ask to be invited, I suppose.
I don't suppose you happen to know who that would be.
I mean, I'm sure Amelia knows something about that. She's the postmaster, and, it's male-based.
I'll bear that in mind. And, would you happen to have a name that you'd prefer to go by? Oh, not Amelia?
Oh, okay.
I mean, you are allowed to still use Amelia. I'm still Aurora, after all.
Of course. To be fair, that was the one slip-up I've had this entire time. I usually go by Chicken.
Lady Autumn, pleasure to meet you, Chicken.
Pleasure.
So, both of us were here to buy some Skulk, I think.
Pretty much.
And,
what do you need Skulk for, if I may ask?
I'm trying to do some strategic time manipulation because I have a problem with my natural temporal inclinations not quite being aligned with reality properly.
Oh, I feel that. That's... Yep. I completely understand that. Dragon eggs.
Okay, Rogue, could you actually have Skulk in stock?
Does he not have Skulk?
Fine, I will split the last stack of Skulk with you.
That's fine. Thank you.
And thank you for pointing me to the Doppelgangers Association. I will be following up on that.
Mm-hmm. Here's a diamond for the Skulk. I don't... we're splitting a stack. I don't want you to pay for that.
Okay. Thank you, Chicken.
I still call you Aurora, right?
Yep. And of course, please don't tell anyone about this.
Same. Yeah, it's... I didn't want it to go down this way, in a way, but I'm glad it did, because now I have a friend.
Indeed. And, of course, if I see you around in the future, I won't let anyone know what I know.
Thank you. Yeah. I'll see you around, I suppose.
See you around. My friend?
Mm-hmm. Friend?
Well, it appears that there's enough doppelgangers here on Unorthoblocks to have a full association for it. That's good to know. And Amelia has a doppelganger. That's also good. I'm glad I'm not alone. Well, I finished up the stairs. But I decided that I also needed to finish up something else related to this house. Namely, as you may or may not have picked up from the last multitude of my videos to you, I have been having a problem with losing time, and the fact that I very much need to sleep, but I cannot afford to take the couple months rest that frankly I need. So I set out to build a house full of skulk with the specific intention of being able to take one very time-compressed nap. Now, this is dangerous. There is a reason I have isolated it from the rest of my house in so much as I can, and there is a reason I am not doing this in an area or time other people might walk in on it. This is even more dangerous than the casual uses of chronomancy that you've seen me demonstrating around the server, because this is not a simple 5-point setup. This is a full wall of skulk. A full wall of carefully charged skulk. That was the other reason that this platform had to be at this elevation, because the ground floor of my house is not time-charged skulk to avoid having issues with my house falling out of reality again. That only has to happen once. And I am aware that the space-time distortion of the Nether makes it more likely to explode, but it also means that it makes it far easier to do certain types of chronomancy, and I just really, really want to be able to fit 2 years into this nap. So, that was bracing. But hopefully I will not need to explode myself again as a side effect of time compression shenanigans and tuning myself to mortal time. Now, not all time compression shenanigans are quite as explosive as the one I just demonstrated. For instance, I have never once had tree-related time compression explode. But any sort of temporal shenanigans done in the Nether is always at least 50% more explosive than it would have been if it were done in the overworld. I don't make the rules, that's just how this works.